Welcome to week 3 of our affiliate marketing course. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be talking about the process of setting up an affiliate marketing platform if you choose to do a blog or website. Whether you choose a blog or website, having a professional outline presence is essential for your success. So, some of the tools I'm going to be talking about are kind of generalized. I'm going to be telling you kind of my preferences, but this is something where you have a broad range of freedom and choice on what platform and tools that you want to use. Once again, I'll share with you guys what I like to use. If you go to the affiliate tools link, you guys can find all kinds of different companies linked in there, and you'll see the ones that I like. So the first thing we're going to talk about, which is probably one of the most important things, is your domain name. You can have as many domain names as you want over time and redirect them to your main website. If you choose to have a different domain name in the future, you can redirect your current website to the new domain name. For some of you, you might have to hire somebody. It's pretty self-explanatory, though, if you choose to do it yourself. You can Google how to do it, watch YouTube videos that'll take you step by step on how to redirect traffic to a new domain, etc. But you should pick out something you want to stick with for a long time on your first initial website. So the first step obviously is setting up a website. So the first step obviously is to choose a domain name. So it should be something that's relevant, memorable, and short but simple. Acronyms work very well. You can go purchase these from something like GoDaddy. I like to use ChatGPT to get name ideas. You don't have to use one of the names that it provides, but you can utilize those for additional ideas. So it might spit out a list of 10 different name ideas for you based on your niche and the content you want to produce. And then you can make kind of a mix and match name idea, and then maybe even make an acronym out of that and go on to someplace like GoDaddy and do a search for that name or acronym and see what's available. In my opinion, you shouldn't spend thousands of dollars on a domain name. You should be spending maybe a few dollars. Most of the domain names I've purchased were less than 10 bucks, and they've worked quite well for me. So for most people starting out, I don't recommend starting with a blog or website because it's a very complicated setup process that takes a lot of work. And in my opinion, it's not necessary to make significant amounts of money. However, a lot of people do like doing blogs, and especially with the assistance of AI, it's becoming very easy to create a successful blog utilizing AI tools. But once again, it takes a lot of work to set a blog up and a lot of work going forward to put into it. And in my opinion, it's not the best return on investment. I prefer a landing page, and I'll go into that more in another video in a different class. But having a domain name can still be very beneficial because you can redirect people from that domain, from that URL to your landing page. In my case, I like to use solo.to. There's affiliate tools you guys can find for solo.to. I like them as a landing page for all my different types of affiliate links. And having a domain name that's easy to remember, let's say you have an acronym, and referencing that acronym in your videos or your articles or your posts is a lot easier for somebody to remember than having a long URL, unless, of course, right? So if you tell somebody to go to xyz.com, they'll see all your affiliate links, for example, and that's a redirect. Next, you need to choose, if you're doing a website or blog, a hosting provider. So there are a ton of different companies you could use, whether it's Liquid Web Hosting, HostGator, Bluehost, InMotion, DreamHost, WordPress Engine, SiteGround, so on and so forth. There are a ton of different hosting providers that you can utilize. If you're going to choose to do a website or blog, my recommendation would be to use Shopify because it is much easier to utilize Shopify without hiring a developer, and you can do it for a very low cost yourself. I think they have starting programs at like a few dollars a month where you can get on there, you can get a free theme, you can set everything up virtually for free, install most of the tools. Most of the tools have a free initial start out platform or plan that you can use to get going. And then later on, as you start making money, you can pay for upgrades in those different apps to improve your overall content, your SEO, etc. But we'll get more into that in a different video. Okay, so setting up WordPress or Shopify. For this tutorial, we'll be using both WordPress and Shopify due to their flexibility and ease of use. Most hosting providers offer one-click WordPress installation. For WordPress, this is how you would do it. You would log into your hosting account, access your control panel, you install WordPress and follow the one-click installation process. Then you configure the basic settings for your site title, tagline, and other basics. Now, if you Now, if you choose to go with Shopify, Shopify is very easy as well. In fact, it's easier in my opinion. It's basically the same kind of process. You're not having to install anything though, like you do with WordPress. You simply go to shopify.com and create a page, and it walks you through step by step. I think it's as easy, if not easier, than creating a Facebook page at this point in time. Next thing you need to do is choose a theme. Next thing you need to do is choose a theme. A theme is very important because you want something that's going to function well on a computer, and more importantly on a cell phone, because most people are using their smartphones nowadays to access websites. Most website traffic comes from a phone, so you need a theme that works well on both, with a preference towards most website traffic comes from phones nowadays, so you need a theme that works well on the computer, but specifically on a phone. There are a ton of free options for themes, both for WordPress and for Shopify. However, the better themes you do have to pay for. Some of the things you're going to want to look at when you're choosing a theme are the tools that come built into the theme. A lot of themes already have built-in tools that are very nice to have, and you don't have to pay additional to install those apps because they come built into the theme. However, that being said, there are a lot of free themes for both Shopify and WordPress that you can start out with and upgrade later on. If you choose to upgrade later on, you do have to rebuild your homepage. With Shopify, that's pretty easy, and you can always hire somebody off of Fiverr if you're willing to invest some money. Once again, we're talking about websites and blogs, which starting out, I don't necessarily recommend for the vast majority of people. It's much easier to do a free landing page like solo.to to get started. But going down the road long term, having a blog or website can drastically increase your income. Some of the things you want to consider when looking for a theme are responsiveness, customizability, and ability, speed, especially on phones, and example themes. So some of the things you want to consider when looking for a theme are the responsiveness. The theme should be mobile friendly. Customizability, look for themes that allow easy customization. Speed, which is very, very important, is probably one of the most important factors in having a good website. You need to choose something that's quick. So a lightweight theme that will give you a faster load time is ideal. Next, you have to look at plugins. For WordPress, it's a little more difficult than with Shopify. Either one, you just search for the plugin that you are needing, and then you, with Shopify, install the app, or with WordPress, you download the app and then re-upload it to WordPress, which is kind of archaic and caveman style nowadays, but that's how WordPress still does it. Some essential plugins are going to include SEO plugins such as Yoast, Google Analytics for WordPress by Monster Insights, Pretty Links, which can be a good one to have, and WordPress forms, which can be good for creating forms on your site. There are thousands of different plugins that you guys can choose from. If you want the ones that I use, go check out the affiliate. If you want the ones that I use, go check out the affiliate tools link in the video description or in the class content. The basic important pages to create on your website and or blog would be the homepage, obviously, which is where people are going to be going most of the time. Your about page, which is basically there to provide SEO content for Google and other search engines. The about page gives a very good theme overview of what your website or blog are about. For the cookies, and the about page is a great tool to put in SEO content for search bots and other search engine tools to help customers find your. You want to have a contact page, which in a lot of states is required. So you're going to need to have contact information on there, usually an email and phone number, sometimes an address as well. You need to have a privacy policy on there, depending on the state, such as California. There are additional things you need to have on your website for customer security and notifications, etc. And then you want to have a blog page. If you're going to have a website, you basically need to have a blog with at least 50 articles on it in order to have good SEO. And I'll talk about building blogs later on. I also have videos on YouTube on how I build blogs. I can do a big blog post in a matter of a few minutes with certain AI tools, and it works very well for increasing SEO. And you guys can go watch that video right now if you want, or whenever you want. And if you want to be doing blog posts, that's how. Now you want to start customizing your site. Starting with the home page, you're going to want to choose a logo and branding, which is basic for the entire website. Your menus, your easy to navigate menus on Shopify. It's very easy. You just go in there on. Next, you want to start customizing your site. So you need a logo and general branding, which is going to be important across the website. It's basic, built into the entire platform. And so that's something you should be developing right off the bat. Your menus, your easy to navigate menus are very important. It depends on what theme and what platform you're using. It's very easy to set up on Shopify, and Shopify is good because it usually carries across themes. If you use themes, WordPress is a little bit more difficult. In my experience, if you're going to be building a website on WordPress, you're going to have to hire somebody to help with a lot of the plugins. Sometimes there are bugs and things don't work, or sometimes there are edits that need to be made, and unless you know how to code, it can be very difficult and very frustrating for WordPress. Whereas on Shopify, it's very easy. It's like drag and drop, and they fix any issues themselves. And overall, Shopify is just so much easier to use than WordPress. You also want to have widgets, so maybe a pop-up for your email sign-up, and so on and so forth. Those things are important to get installed right away because they can be up and running in building your audience and building your revenue right off the bat. As soon as you get them set up, you don't have to worry about them again unless you change something out with maybe discount codes. And so those are easy to set up right off the bat and have those taken care of, and you don't have to worry about that. Setting up your website or blog is a crucial step in your affiliate marketing journey if that's the direction you choose to go with your content creation. If that's the direction you choose to go with your content creation as a core, or maybe even as a peripheral part of your affiliate marketing program, it's very important to have that in place. If you have multiple platforms that you are putting content on, having a website can kind of link them all together and increase the SEO for all of the platforms across the board. So having one as a base is a good idea, assuming you have the time to build it out. Once again, it's not the number one choice, in my opinion, for building an audience or building a revenue stream, but long term, it is an essential or borderline essential tool in your arsenal to be a successful affiliate marketer. Make sure you take your time to ensure everything is set up correctly. In the next take your time to ensure everything is set up correctly on your website. In the next sections, we'll find a detailed checklist and resources to help you. Take your time ensuring everything is set up correctly on your website or blog. In the next sections, you'll find a detailed section. In the next section, you'll find a detailed checklist of the resources to help you. Don't forget to share your site on the community area for feedback. Good luck, guys. We'll see you in the next module.